Welcome to a very chilly Krugersdorp morning at the Hobby Park 4x4 track for round 5 of the 2015 Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge. It was so cold the farmers from Lichtenberg put 2 short pants on instead of 1.
Got our stickers, signed in, ready to rock and roll.
This is the first eliminator round, but as it turns out, no teams would leave the competition as the organisers gave the crews a last get used to the new formula run, while also making slight refinements to the penalty system. With almost all the clubs represented, the field that lined up for this round ranged from virtually stock standard double cabs like this Mazda BT50 or SUV like this pristine Nissan Sani, to the hardcore machines like Jeep Wranglers and manned-up Suzuki Jimneys. Since this Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge was getting to next level serious now, scrutineering and safety checks were also stepped up. As Route Master Saki Kutsia stated, the preceding qualifying rounds had been like shadowboxing. The competition was now getting real, so safety was paramount. The marshals went next level with their checks as well.
Okay, batteries loose.
On that serious note, and with the driver's briefing in the bank, let's get down and dirty with some rough and tough 4x4 action. We head straight to Obstacle 1, which would ease the teams into proceeding some. And first to tackle this half a mountain are Emil Henrico and Gerard van Weyck in the stock Mazda BT50 3.2 TDCi. The Mazda, which is about as long as a Putco bus, makes it up the first section okay. Despite a number of stops along the way, they make it through the narrow gates without taking out a pole. That takes some doing in that big double cab. Driver Emil, who judging by his attire, likes his Mazda quite a lot, explains.
I'm shaking, it's difficult. It's quite rough. Today is not for sissies anymore.
Father and son team Gerard and Tian Sneyman in a Suzuki Jimny are our next customers. The Jimny does not have a locking rear differential, so the Sneymans will need a different approach than the BT50, like in a dab more momentum. With the charge of the Light Brigade, they make it through. Despite hitting something rather solid. Phew. We move along to Obstacle 3, where Peter Smith and Deandra Swanepoel are lining up to tackle a particularly rocky and slippery test. But just getting to the starting gate proves a challenge in itself, despite the fact that this Jimny has a retrofitted rear diff lock. Finally, he's ready, and then... oh dear, he stalls it.
Yeah, that's one.
After the restart, Peter lets rip. Driving a much bigger Landy Defender pickup V8 are Johnny and James Brits. Let's see if they can score more than the little Jimny's 45. Using a much more delicate, easier on the right foot approach, the Landy V8 bags a handy 75 points. Talking about easy on the right foot approach, this is Clinton and Bernice Kruger in another lockerless Jimny. And Clinton is clearly a fan of the when in doubt, floor it school of thought. The Jimny makes it to the top with just a few hops and skips, and bags just 40 points. Jaco Hanekom and Morne Leach are in a double-cab Toyota Hilux D4D. Let's see how they deal with the rocky business of obstacle 4. The Toyota also took some knocks there, but gets through this rocky affair with 55 valuable points. Time to head to the shops. On the other side, the action at the Hobby Park 4x4 trail in Krugersdorp continues unabated. See you in a jiffy. This is round 5 of the Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge, and this is obstacle 6, where Gerrit van Wyk and Lisa Marie Blichnoot are getting ready to tackle the steep, rutted climb in an old classic, a Range Rover V8. Oh dear, that wasn't very successful. Gerrit takes a roll back and tries again. But the Rangy isn't moving an inch. The couple makes another attempt, but still no cigar. Eventually, the penny dropped that a side shaft had snapped during their first attempt of this climb, which left them with front-wheel drive only. So, that was the end of the game for the classy old Rangy. No, now what, Gerrit?
It's just temporarily not working. Now, up that hill when we tried to climb, didn't get up the hill, and it seems like we've got a side shaft that's off. So it's unfortunate. But yeah, every sport has its injuries.
Armand Skarp and Werner Janssen van Rensburg line up next in their tricked-up Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. The Ruby comes standard with a very low gear ratio and front and rear lockers, and it simply crawls up this rocky, rutted affair as if it was in a car park.
It was lekker. Just need some bit more steps, but this one was lekker. I enjoyed it. We need more of these obstacles.
Armand's wishes seem to be coming true. This is obstacle 7, and it makes the previous climb look as easy as driving up a pavement with a Jeep Rubicon. This is Dani and Daniel Tate. Dani is highly experienced in this game, with many victories under his belt, and this year his son Daniel is the co-driver. This is a long, steep, rocky climb, but Dani and the little Suzuki just keep on going, and going, and over. Sean Niemand and Chart Skippers are also highly experienced. They drive a slightly modified Jeep Wrangler TJ. And that's a 100-pointer. In the cabin, Sean seems mildly happy.
Yeah!
This is Julian Guldenaes and Jan Veldhagen, and they drive a beautiful Nissan Sani V6. After carefully inspecting this humdinger, the team decides to give it a skip in the open diff Nissan. The marshal explains.
No, they don't have diff lockers, and they were nervous about attempting this first section, which I think is probably a right idea, because if they make a mistake, they're going to damage a vehicle. So I think it was a good decision on their part.
Ah, what is this then? A man stuck under a Land Rover bonnet? No, it's reigning champion Jaco van Zyl and his wife Karen, doing some roadside maintenance.
I've got a small leak here, and I'm fixing it now, because they say to own a Land Rover you have to be a qualified mechanic. So, there, done.
So Jaco and Karen finally arrive at the start of the obstacle, and off they go. And that's 100 points for the mechanic, and he seems suitably impressed by such news. This is obstacle 2, and it's another rocky, steep descent with big ruts and oh greatness moments. And this is Lichtenbergian crew, Johan and Marika Reichel. While everyone else is freezing, Johan employs the tried and tested Lichtenbergian method of 2 short punts for those extra cold days. Right, so let's ride with the Reichels. That's 100 points in the bank, a relatively rare occurrence on this track it seems.
O ja, sy kom ons daai kant.
Shopping time again. When we return, the action continues at Hobby Park, and we find out who ruled the roost at round 5 of the Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge. Welcome back to the action at round 5 of the 4x4 Club Challenge. This is obstacle 10, and we followed the smoke trail of champions Jaco and Karen van Sale's Land Rover Series 2. It is yet another steep and rocky decline that is guaranteed to make a few drivers, co-drivers or passengers yelp some. Thanks to some leaky business on the Landy's, used diesel engine, he creates his own smoke screen on the way down. We're not so sure the marshal appreciated that very much, but that's 75 points in the kitty after the team took out just one pole. Wimpy and Reda Olivier from the Lichtenberg 4x4 Club are next. The lads had clearly not read the memo about the extra short punt. Anyway, let's ride with Wimpy. Oh no, Wimpy is also connected with a pole on the way down, so that's 75 points. Time then for some last hurrahs in the form of a 4x4 drive-off. This is Routemaster Saki Kutsia's drive-off obstacle, and this is Brian Style and Ralph White and their Jeep Grand Cherokee. In the new Bridgestone 4x4 Club Challenge format, teams earn points per event according to their finishing position, which they accrue towards an overall tally that they take all the way to the finals. So if teams are tied for an overall position, they have this one drive-off obstacle to decide who gets the higher points ranking in the event. As you can see, this is no easy obstacle at all, and with all the other teams and spectators looking on, the pressure, she is on. Brian and Ralph do a great job here. Next is the Suzuki Jimny of Chart and Adele Prinsloo. And they also make it through okay. Chart was particularly happy.
No, it was tough, good fun. I'm just glad I'm through and didn't roll my car.
As for the rest of the teams, Arman Skarp and Werner Janssen van Rensburg in the Wrangler Rubicon made it all look decidedly boring. Jaco Hanekom and Mornay Leach in the Hilux get the obstacles right, but the direction completely wrong, and they miss a few turns. Christopher and Leanne Novak in an Isuzu Frontier V6 killed a few poles, but still had a ball doing it. Johanna Mareike-Reichel in the Toyota Fortuner managed a clear run. Johan and Johan Havinga chatted on the two-way radio as they went along and also had a good run. And Wimpy and Riede Olivier had a quiet moment in the little Suzuki Jimny's cabin. And former champion Danny Daniels also had a clear run in his Jeep Grand Cherokee. Before we get to this event's winners, just another rundown of the prizes that are up for grabs. In these eliminator rounds, the top teams will win only points because the really big prizes will be in the game in the final event. Overall winners in both short wheel and long wheelbase classes will receive a set of Bridgestone tyres as well as a Trick Tough Dog suspension upgrade, courtesy of Opposite Lock. Second place will win an LED light bar and Snowmaster fridge. And third place, an Opposite Lock tyre repair kit and a Melville and Moon seat cover set. Several smaller accessory prizes will also be up for grabs for the top 10 places in each class. With this event serving as the get used to it round for the rest of the competition, where the competitors will be divided in long and short wheelbase classes, and with no teams up for elimination here, the three top teams at Hobby Park were. Third place overall was clinched by Peter Gunlach and Willem Murray in a Suzuki Jimny. The team won a mean green recovery kit courtesy of Opposite Lock. Second place was bagged by Ivan Lerm and Stephen Grieve, who were fast becoming regular podium finishers in their souped-up Suzuki Jimny. And winning this tough round overall were seasoned campaigners Werner and Arno Skarp in a Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. The team won a 10,000 Rand Bridgestone tyre voucher. Next week, the teams head to the Bass Lake 4x4 trail, where the action is hot and tough, as the teams start doing battle in the two classes. Till then, ta-ra!